Whispers of the Cape by Simon Cross. The salty breeze rustled through Emma Taylor's chestnut hair as she stood on the weathered porch of her newly rented cottage, gazing out at the endless expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. At 32, Emma had made the bold decision to leave behind her fast-paced life in Boston and relocate to the serene shores of Cape Cod. The quaint town of Harbor Haven, with its cedar-shingled houses, picturesque marina, and winding cobblestone streets, promised a fresh start and the chance to rediscover herself. Emma took a deep breath, savoring the scent of salt and wild beach roses that permeated the air. After years of climbing the corporate ladder in a high-pressure marketing firm, she had finally reached her breaking point. The constant deadlines, office politics, and the nagging feeling that something was missing from her life had driven her to make this drastic change. She had negotiated a remote work arrangement with her company, allowing her to continue her career while embracing a new lifestyle on the Cape. As she unpacked the last of her boxes, Emma couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. The cottage, a charming two-bedroom bungalow with weathered shingles and a wraparound porch, had been a lucky find. Its previous owner, a retired schoolteacher named Margaret, had taken an instant liking to Emma and offered her a reasonable long-term lease. The cottage came partially furnished, its interior a cozy blend of nautical-themed decor and comfortable, well-worn furniture that spoke of years of happy summers spent by the sea. Emma ran her hand along the smooth surface of an old writing desk positioned near a bay window overlooking the ocean. She could easily imagine herself working here, inspired by the rhythmic crash of waves against the shore. The walls were adorned with vintage maps of Cape Cod and watercolor paintings of lighthouses and sailboats, adding to the coastal charm of her new home. That evening, as the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold, Emma decided to take a walk along the harbor. She slipped on a light sweater to ward off the evening chill and made her way down to the waterfront. The wooden planks of the boardwalk creaked softly beneath her feet, and the gentle clinking of rigging against masts created a soothing melody. The air was filled with the mingled scents of salt water, grilled seafood from nearby restaurants, and the sweet aroma of kettle corn from a small vendor cart. As she strolled, she noticed a beautiful sailboat moored at one of the docks. Its sleek lines and billowing white sails caught the last rays of the setting sun, creating a postcard-perfect scene. The boat's name, Serendipity, was painted in elegant script on its hull. Emma found herself drawn to it, admiring the craftsmanship and imagining what it would be like to sail on such a vessel. Just then, a golden retriever came bounding up to her, its tail wagging furiously. The dog's coat gleamed in the fading sunlight, and its warm brown eyes looked up at Emma with friendly curiosity. It dropped a ball at her feet and looked up at her expectantly, tail still wagging. "I'm so sorry," a deep, warm voice called out. Emma looked up to see a man jogging towards her, his features becoming clearer as he approached. He was tall, with broad shoulders and sun-kissed skin that spoke of days spent on the water. His sandy brown hair wind-blown and his green eyes crinkled at the corners as he smiled apologetically. He wore warm boat shoes, khaki shorts, and a faded blue polo shirt with a small anchor embroidered on the chest. "No worries," Emma said, bending down to pick up the ball. "He's beautiful. What's his name?" "This is Sailor," the man replied, reaching down to ruffle the dog's fur. The golden retriever leaned into his touch, clearly devoted to his owner. "And I'm Noah. Noah Bennett. That's my boat over there," he added, gesturing to the sailboat Emma had been admiring. "Emma Taylor?" she said, extending her hand. Noah's grip was firm and warm, and Emma felt a slight flutter in her chest as their eyes met. His hand was calloused, telling of a life spent working with ropes and sails. "I just moved here, actually. Today's my first day in Harbor Haven." Noah's eyebrows rose in surprise, his green eyes twinkling with interest. "Well, welcome to our little slice of paradise. What brings you to the Cape?" As they began to walk together along the harbor, Emma found herself opening up to Noah about her decision to leave Boston and start new. There was something about his easygoing demeanor and attentive gaze that made her feel comfortable sharing her story. Noah listened intently, asking thoughtful questions and offering words of encouragement. "Sounds like you made a brave choice," Noah said as they reached his sailboat. The Serendipity looked even more impressive up close, its polished wood gleaming in the light of day. "Listen, I run sailing tours around the Cape. If you'd like, I could show you around from the water. It's the best way to see Harbor Haven and the surrounding coastline." Emma hesitated for a moment, but the warmth in Noah's eyes and the allure of the beautiful sailboat won her over. The thought of seeing her new home from a different perspective was enticing. "That sounds wonderful. When's your next tour?" Noah's face lit up, his smile broadening. "Well, I was planning to take her out tomorrow morning for a sunrise sail. It's a bit early, but the views are spectacular. What do you say? It'll be a great introduction to life on the Cape. The prospect of watching the sunrise from the water was too tempting to resist. Emma found herself nodding before she even realized it. "I'd love to," she replied with a smile. "What should I bring?" Noah's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Just yourself some warm layers and a sense of adventure. I'll take care of the rest. Meet me here at 5 a.m. As Emma made her way back to her cottage, she felt a sense of anticipation building in her chest. Her first day in Harbor Haven had already brought an unexpected encounter, and tomorrow promised to be the start of a grand adventure. The next morning, Emma arrived at the dock just as the sky was beginning to lighten, the stars still faintly visible in the pre-dawn sky. The air was crisp and cool, filled with the sounds of seagulls and the gentle lapping of waves against the hulls of moored boats. Noah was already there, preparing the serendipity for their journey. He greeted her with a warm smile and a cup of steaming coffee, the rich aroma cutting through the salty air. "Ready for an adventure?" he asked, his eyes twinkling with excitement. Noah looked completely in his element, moving about the boat with practiced ease. As they set sail, Emma was amazed by Noah's skill and confidence in handling the boat. He explained the basics of sailing to her, his passion for the sea evident in every word. He showed her how to adjust the sails, pointing out how the wind filled the canvas and propelled them forward. Emma listened intently, fascinated by this new world opening up before her. As the sun began to peak over the horizon, painting the sky in breathtaking shades of orange and pink, Emma felt a sense of peace wash over her. The coastline of Cape Cod stretched out before them, its beaches and cliffs bathed in the soft light of dawn. Seabirds wheeled overhead, their cries mingling with the sound of water rushing past the hull. "It's beautiful," she breathed, leaning against the railing. The salty spray on her face and the gentle rocking of the boat made her feel more alive than she had in years. Noah came to stand beside her, their shoulders almost touching. "This is why I love what I do," he said softly. "Being able to share moments like this with others, it's pretty special." Over the next few weeks, Emma found herself drawn more and more to the harbor and to Noah's sailing tours. She joined him for sunset cruises, whale-watching expeditions, and leisurely afternoon sails. Each time she stepped onto the boat, she felt a sense of excitement and freedom that she had never experienced before. Noah proved to be an excellent teacher, patiently explaining the intricacies of sailing to Emma. She quickly became apt at helping him with various tasks on the boat, from hoisting the sails to tying knots. Their teamwork on the water translated into an easy camaraderie on land, and Emma found herself looking forward to their time together more and more. One particularly memorable day, Noah invited Emma for a private sail to a secluded cove he knew. As they anchored in the crystal-clear waters, surrounded by towering cliffs and lush greenery, Emma felt as though they had discovered their own private paradise. The cove was sheltered from the wind, its waters calm and inviting. A small sandy beach curved along one side, bordered by weathered rocks and tidal pools teeming with marine life. They spent the afternoon swimming in the refreshing water, exploring the shoreline, and enjoying a picnic on the deck of the boat. Noah had packed a delicious spread of local cheeses, fresh fruit, and crusty bread from the Harbor Haven bakery. They talked and laughed, sharing stories of their lives and dreams for the future. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the water, Noah taught Emma how to steer the boat. Standing behind her, his hands gently guiding hers on the wheel, Noah spoke softly near her ear. "Feel the wind, the current. The boat will tell you what it needs." Emma was acutely aware of Noah's presence, the warmth of his body so close to hers. She could smell the sun on his skin mingled with the scent of salt and wood from the boat. As she successfully navigated a turn, she let out a delighted laugh, turning her head to share her triumph with Noah. Their faces were inches apart, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. Noah's gaze dropped to her lips, then back to her eyes, silently asking permission. Emma answered by closing the distance between them, pressing her lips to his in a kiss that was soft and sweet and full of promise. The setting sun painted the sky in vibrant hues of orange and purple, as if nature itself was celebrating this moment. When they finally pulled apart, both slightly breathless, Noah rested his forehead against Emma's. "I've been wanting to do that for a while now," he admitted with a sheepish grin, his green eyes sparkling with joy. Emma laughed, her heart feeling lighter than it had in years. "Me too," she confessed, running her fingers through his wind-blown hair. From that moment on, Emma and Noah's relationship blossomed into something beautiful and deep. So their sailing adventures took on a new dimension, each trip an opportunity to grow closer and create lasting memories. They explored hidden coves, watched whales breach in the distance, and marveled at the starry sky on overnight trips. Emma marveled at how different this relationship felt from her past experiences in the city. There was no rush, no pressure to define things or meet arbitrary milestones. Instead, their love grew organically, nurtured by shared experiences and genuine connection. Noah's steady presence and unwavering support became a cornerstone of her new life in Harbor Haven. As summer began to wane and the first hints of autumn crept into the air, Emma faced a decision. Her remote work arrangement had been temporary and her boss in Boston was pushing for her to return to the office. The thought of leaving Harbor Haven, of leaving Noah and the life they were building together, filled her with dread. One crisp September morning, as they sailed along the coastline with Sailor lounging on the deck, Emma broached the subject. The leaves on the shoreline were just beginning to turn, adding splashes of red and gold to the landscape. "Noah," she began, her voice hesitant, "I need to talk to you about something." Noah looked up from adjusting the sails, his expression concerned. The wind ruffled his hair as he turned to give Emma his full attention. "What's on your mind?" Emma took a deep breath, the salty air filling her lungs. "My boss wants me back in Boston. They're not willing to extend my remote work arrangement indefinitely." Noah was quiet for a moment, his hands stilling on the ropes. The only sounds were the creaking of the boat and the cry of distant seagulls. "And how do you feel about that?" he asked gently, his green eyes searching hers. Emma moved closer to him, taking his hands in hers. They were warm and strong from years of working with ropes and sails. "Honestly, the thought of leaving here, leaving you in this life we've started, it breaks my heart. These past few months have been the happiest of my life. I feel like I've finally found where I belong." Noah's eyes softened, and he cupped Emma's face in his hands. The boat rocked gently beneath them, a constant reminder of the life they'd built together on the water. "Then don't go," he said simply. "Emma, I love you. I know we haven't said it yet, but I do. I love you and I want you to stay. We can figure out the rest together." Tears welled up in Emma's eyes as she heard the words she'd been longing to hear. The setting sun cast a warm glow over Noah's face, highlighting the sincerity in his expression. "I love you too, Noah, so much. But what about my job, my career?" Noah smiled, wiping away a tear that had escaped down Emma's cheek. "You're brilliant, Emma. There are plenty of opportunities here for someone with your skills. And if you want to start your own business, I'll support you every step of the way. Heck, my sailing business could use some marketing expertise. Whatever you decide will make it work." Emma felt a weight lift from her shoulders. She realized that she had already made her decision. She just needed to hear Noah say the words. The thought of building a life here, with Noah and the sea, filled her with excitement and purpose. "Okay," she said, a smile breaking through her tears. "Okay, I'll stay. We'll figure it out together." Noah pulled her into a tight embrace, the boat gently rocking beneath them as Sailor barked happily, sensing the joy in the air. As he set her down, he kissed her deeply, pouring all his love and joy into the gesture. The setting sun painted the sky and sea in brilliant hues of gold and pink, as if celebrating their decision. In the weeks that followed, Emma threw herself into building a new life in Harbor Haven. She reached out to local businesses, offering her marketing expertise, and soon found herself with a growing roster of clients. She also began working closely with Noah to expand and promote his sailing tour business, bringing her marketing skills to bear in attracting more tourists to the charming seaside town. Together, they created new themed sailing packages, designed eye-catching brochures, and built a website that showcased the beauty of Cape Cod from the water. Emma's fresh perspective and Noah's deep knowledge of the area proved to be a winning combination. As autumn progressed, they saw a steady increase in bookings, even as the weather turned cooler. Emma also became more involved in the Harbor Haven community. She joined the local Chamber of Commerce, volunteered at beach cleanup events, and even helped organize a maritime festival that brought visitors from all over New England. With each passing day, she felt more and more at home in this close-knit coastal town. As winter descended on the Cape, bringing with it a different kind of beauty, Emma stood on the deck of Noah's boat, now winterized and moored safely in the harbor. Snowflakes drifted gently around them as they sipped hot cocoa, bundled up against the cold. The harbor was quiet, most of the summer boats having been pulled from the water. But the serendipity remained, a testament to their year-round commitment to the sea and each other. "Any regrets?" Noah asked softly, his arm wrapped securely around her waist. His breath formed small clouds in the cold air, and his cheeks were rosy from the wind. Emma turned in his arms, looking up into the face of the man who had helped her find herself again. Snow gathered in his hair and eyelashes, making him look boyish and carefree. "Not a single one," she replied, standing on her tiptoes to kiss him. As they stood there, wrapped in each other's arms with Sailor curled up at their feet, Emma marveled at how much her life had changed in just a few short months. She had come to Cape Cod searching for clarity and a fresh start, and she had found so much more. She had found love, community, and a sense of purpose that had eluded her for so long.